Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I have some free agency news for you. Some guys have signed some cool places, but let's see. Before I get into that, I want to say that I had some errors here that I spoke at length with bad information. It's kind of a weakness of mine. I got to work on making sure I do my homework a little better. But that's part of growing. So let's see. Davis. Now the situation with Davis was this: I had it backwards. I thought that he had been traded to Toronto and then played out the rest of the season with them. He had actually been traded from Toronto to Sacramento and played out the rest of the season with them. To be honest with you, my understanding of his game came from fantasy basketball. So when and how that trade went, just in my mind, I was working at the time. I wasn't really focused on all that. I just remember, oh, this dude is on Sac. Ooh, but I thought he had went to Toronto. But here's another thing that kind of led me in the wrong direction. Um, it was listed that he was a free agent for Toronto on the page. I checked it too. I was like, so they messed up and kind of led me in the wrong direction, coupled with me not remembering properly. And I went at length about how he had been traded to Toronto. Blah, blah, blah. I am now aware that that was a mistake, and I wanted to rectify that. So thank you guys for being patient with me. Also, I've made that type of stuff, those type of mistakes a lot in my life, and you'll see them all throughout my channel as you go through the past. So there'll be a lot of them. Maybe one day someone will put a collage of all the things I said wrong. I think that would be kind of funny. But anyway, so yeah, now let's get to the news. Mo Wagner is headed to the Magic. He's going to be playing with his brother. I think that's really cool. Mo is going to play with his bro in Orlando. That's pretty damn cool. Mo Wagner is a guy that is a power forward in this league. Lakers drafted him in the back of the draft about 3 years ago. And he was really an energetic guy. A guy you love having on your bench. Someone who rebounded the ball, played hard. It didn't actually translate a lot because he wasn't as strong with us since we had him so young. But he was an aggressive power forward center combination player. Could shoot the ball decent. I'm not going to say he shot the ball very well. You particularly would prefer him to play within, 20 feet. But his shot is, he's capable of hitting the three, and he can improve there for sure. But that's not what you're hiring him for. He's more of an energetic four. And you know what? I think he's going to be a good piece for them. He's going to be inspired by the fact that his little bro is going to have a big role on this team as well, being one of the high draft picks for the Magic. So I'm happy for them and their family, and I think it'll work out in Orlando. I think Mo Wagner will play his best ball there thus far. So hopefully he'll get the opportunity to do that. Let's see. Also, Tony Bradley headed to Chicago. Yet another phenomenal signing by the Chicago Bulls. Tony Bradley is a guy, I think if you give him an opportunity, he will shine. He's already proven that playing behind Dwight Howard and Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. I've talked about him at length because I know of him just like I know of other players that I've spoken on, including Davis, who have just broken out in short spurts while guys went down. And being that COVID and all of that stuff happened as it did, it kind of gave some guys opportunities that maybe otherwise you wouldn't see get those. So he was one of those players, and Chicago paid attention to that. They took notice and they signed him, I believe, to a one-year deal. I know he's going to be playing behind Vucevic. I'm pretty sure they have somebody else probably in front of that. But they definitely have him there, and I think he will earn his way into that top spot behind Vucevic. He's going to get that six-man role eventually. He'll earn his way to it. That's a young player, a lot of length. I think he's a 7-footer. He can do some things for you. So I like that signing a whole lot. Enes Kanter is headed to the Celtics. Back to the Celtics. Is this his third extent? It definitely is second, but I think it's his third. Enes Kanter just goes back and forth between the teams he's already played for. That's how he rolls. He just plays musical chairs with his familiar places. He loves the places that he's played. The teams and their fan bases love him. He's loving all of these places. It's amazing. But that's why you keep seeing this, because he really legitimately has multiple homes in this league. He's a true Celtic. He's a true OKC. He's a true Portland. He's a true Knick. Like, this dude just keeps finding himself in places that love him. So that's what's happening here. He's gonna help bolster the center position for the Celtics, of course. And I think they have a good lineup there, man. Al Horford is back, Time Lord's in there, and they have Ennis Cantor. That's not bad. It's not bad. So Celtics got the size that I felt they needed to get. I would have loved to see them hold on to Moses Brown because I think down the line they're going to wish they kept him. But the fact that they're investing in Williams in the way that they are, I think is a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. So, yeah, moving forward, we'll talk about Victor Oladipo returning to the Miami Heat. As I said in the previous video, I think that they've been kind of showing us that they had him in mind to kind of have him as a part of what they were doing. The hints were there that he wasn't going anywhere. That's where he wanted to be initially. It's where he's always wanted to be. And they're not going to turn their back on him when his value's low. And to be completely honest with you, it's probably the right decision because it's a very talented player. I do have my concerns about whether or not he'll come back and be as effective as you need him to be. But I think over time, history has shown us that talented players turn themselves into very good role players if they're able to swing together some good, healthy years. We've seen guys go through periods of time where they will have significant injuries, be injury prone, quote unquote, and then just start working out, getting their legs back under them. And next thing you know, they've carved out a heck of a role in this league for the rest of their careers. So I think Victor Oladipo may be a candidate for that type of thing. And I think Miami, given the fact that he's going to be, their 6th, 7th option, they could do a lot worse. You best believe that. They get him for the cheap. I think he could have probably asked for more money in whatever case. But, yeah, I think everybody's happy there. Now, they do have an issue with shooting to a degree as it pertains to having him in a big role, but they do have phenomenal shooting in other areas on the roster, so they'll be all right. And last but not least, of course, Davis, the guy that I was telling y'all about that I had mistaken his entire story. Yes, returning back to Sacramento for a 2-year deal. And I think it's a good thing. I think Sacramento has a role for him that actually won't be so log jammed as to where he can play behind Barnes and get some decent minutes. I do think that he broke out there. He may even step in front of Barnes. They may even trade Barnes. I don't know what's going on there. But Sacramento, I think Sacramento would be good to make a trade of some sort. Because they do have some high value guards that need starters minutes. And they don't have the roles for those guys. You got Buddy Hield. You got Tyrese Halliburton. You got Mitchell, Davion Mitchell. And, of course, you got your guy that you paid a max to in De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star, but the guys around him aren't too far off. To be completely honest with you, I could totally see Tyrese Halliburton getting a $100 million contract someday. I can totally see Mitchell pulling off more than 80 someday just by what I've seen from him in summer league. These are talented dudes. Buddy Hield, every team wants Buddy Hield right now. So it's like you have trade pieces. I think it would be wise to maybe give up somebody. And it's not because you giving up on them. It's not because you don't believe in these players. It's quite the contrary. It's because you know you don't have the value for them, but you can help yourself in other areas. Those guys don't have to all be bunched up together on your team. But get what you need from other teams by giving up some of those guys. And I know it's hard to figure out which ones it is that you want to keep, especially this early in the game. So take your time with that. But do think about letting go of one of them soon. While the value is high, before it gets to a point where they start playing themselves into whatever roles they have to be on your team and the value goes down. Because see, right now, a guy like Mitchell, teams are looking at him, they're like, man, this dude could start for me. He's like the 4th option in Sacramento, but I need him. And they'll be willing to give you something that you want for him. I think that's smart. Because I wouldn't give up Tyrese Halliburton. Hell no. And obviously De'Aaron Fox is not on the, that's not even, you're not thinking about that. Mitchell's a player you just picked up. Trade him. Literally, trade him. It's just the right thing to do. You have some things that you need, and that's that. You'll have some things you need. And I know they're looking at Toronto right now. I know that. I don't know if I give him up in a deal that I would attach Buddy to. Absolutely not. I'm not giving up both of those players at the same time. They go different places. But I'm definitely trading Buddy today or tomorrow. That needs to happen soon. If they can bring back Pascal Siakam, I think that's a very good thing. I can totally see Pascal in Sacramento. That seems like that. It's almost like that's already happened or something. I don't know. I expect that to take place. And yeah, man, I just feel like they can probably booster their center position. Right? Who do they have at the center position? They did lose Whiteside. They got Holmes. Like Holmes. I like Holmes a lot. But there are other things they can do to just kind of balance out their roster. You know, to get themselves a guy. Bagley, is he the answer at the 4? Not if you're bringing in Siakam. You're probably sending him out in that deal. So they have a plethora of guards. It'll work out for now. But eventually they're going to have to pay somebody else. They got to figure out who it is. Is it Tyrese Halliburton or is it going to be Davion Mitchell? Because you ain't keeping all 3 of them. Not long term. You're not going to be able to do it. So and their cap situation is going to be funny when it's time to do so. So you can see a path where one or both of these guys walk. You are Sacramento. You are Sacramento. With respect to everybody in Sac, players would love to get the hell out of there. Unless they're making the money that De'Aaron Fox is. So you got to pay who you got to pay. You got to make sure it's the right ones. But thinking that you can hold on to all 3 while making the team strong, that's going to be hard, man. Building around 3 guards, that's going to be hard. And I don't think Sac wants to do that. So I can see and envision down the road where maybe, depending on how they play their values up or down, will determine whether or not what I'm saying makes sense. Because if a guy like Davion Mitchell goes off and is a super all-star and you traded him away as a rookie, you wish to God you didn't do it. So it's not like I have the answer. I'm just saying that I think they need to figure that part out. I think they need to see that down already forming and saying, nah, that's not going to work. So that's what I'm saying about Sac. But in the meantime, Terrence Davis, on the other hand, doesn't have that problem, I don't think. I think his role is going to make a little more sense there. So congratulations to him going back there. And, yeah, we're still waiting on Schroeder. There's a few other names that I was kind of surprised still on the board. Talked about them previously, so we'll just wait it out. We'll wait it out, man. I thank you guys for watching. My name is BDL44. I'm out.